Hello and welcome back to another video with Exercise for All. So today we're going to be doing a workout for our back muscles. Okay, so we'll start off with the shoulders at the top, working our way down. It's a good workout to focus on our core stability, which is just going to help you move a little bit more comfortable in everyday life. So we're not so much focusing on posture. A lot of these movements are going to be a bit of twisting, okay, bending. We want to try and mobilise our spine as much as we can. A lot of the time we focus on posture being straight. It's really important for us to bend our back and actually recruit a lot of the muscles, okay, so there's no weakness. So we want to try and strengthen those muscles by moving them as much as possible, make them a little bit more pliable to movement in general. So we'll make a start. I'm going to shuffle my chair back a little bit so we can get going and you can see exactly what I'm doing. And as I mentioned, we are going to be doing the shoulders to begin with, our neck a little bit as well, so just some movements to the side. If there are any movements that you feel a little bit uncomfortable doing, you know in yourself what you can and can't do. So just before we get started, some of the movements today will be bending down, for example, touching our toes, going from side to side, and some twisting as well. So make sure you're in a good enough chair, okay, maybe arms on the chair might get in the way, okay, but we'll try our best with what you've got in front of you, okay? So as mentioned, we do want to sit up nice and straight in our chair to begin with, and we'll try and return to this position as much as we can, but there will be some bending and some arching of the back throughout. So just do what you can. If you do have some problems with your back, just sit and watch some of the exercises if you do struggle with them, or just do as much as you can, okay? So in the front third of our chair, that's our working position. You don't want to be too close to the edge, and you don't want to be too far back either, okay? So just make sure your feet are hip width apart, sitting up nice and straight, and just relax those shoulders. And the first thing that we are going to do, as always, is moving those shoulders up and back. So I hope you can see that. We don't want to lose any of the posture just yet. We're not going forwards, we're going up and then back round, so you can feel those shoulder blades pinching together. Okay, good. Right, we'll go for a few more of those. Try to make it a little bit more fluent now, where we just ease into the movement and we continue to keep going with those repetitions. That's it, fantastic. Right, opposite direction now, we're going up, forwards and round. Up, forwards and round. So we're still going in that circular motion. Okay, your shoulders are coming up, forwards and round. If that helps demonstrate it a little bit better for you. Okay, a few more. And we will then be moving our neck in just a moment. Now, neck exercise is really important that we don't get this wrong, because we don't want to jar our neck in any way. We want to take it nice and slow, and it is just a 90-degree turn to the side one way, back to the centre, and then the other way. Okay, so we'll do a couple more of those. Please don't turn the neck too quickly like this. It's a slow movement. Really try to exaggerate and emphasise that slow movement. One way and then the other. Back to the centre. I'm going left first, back to the centre, right. Okay, good. Now we're going to look up. So towards the ceiling, back to the centre, and then all the way back down, so chin towards your chest, and we'll do that once more. So up you go, and down, all the way, chin towards your chest, fantastic. And just loosen off those shoulders one last time. It's a good place to start with your shoulders, those muscles, particularly if we spend a lot of time sedentary in those chairs, the muscles at the top of our back can become very sort of stiff, especially if we've slept in a certain position. So even including this as part of your daily routine, when you wake up in the mornings, try to get those joints up here moving, okay? Because they're the ones that might have been under some sort of stress whilst you've been sleeping. So, to get started, let's see if we can bring those arms out, like so, okay, and then out to the side. So they're going up and then out. Okay, you can bring them back to the centre and then down. So just a bit of a warm up to get those arms moving, but you'll be surprised how much the top of your back is having to work here. It's having to help support the weight of your arms. Okay, just like that, good. Keep going. It's a really difficult one. You might feel this in your arms, particularly at the top, but we are slowly starting to encourage those muscles to work around the spine, the top of the back, okay? So up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. Now, if you can, again, shoulder mobility here, range of motion, we're going to bring those arms up, okay, as high as you can. If you really can bring them up nice and high, you'll feel this in the top of your back. Good, and down. Up, slowly, hold just for a second or two, and then bring down. Again, the arms are starting to ache here, so we won't stay on this one for too long. Up, and then down. Good, let's go for one more. Up, hold for a second or two, and down. Fantastic. Now, as I did mention that we are going to be bending our back a little bit during this workout. It's not going to last too long. We're going to do just sort of one set of these exercises. If you want to repeat it, as always, you can. Just go back to the start of the video. So, all I want you to do is reach down, make sure you're still in the front third of your chair. Try to keep your back fairly straight as we go, and then it might start to just naturally bend, which is fine, okay? So I'm going all the way to touch my toes. I'm going to go just a little bit further back so you can see that. Okay, so you can see my back as well, keep an eye on that. As we go down, I'm keeping my back straight. As I go past, or just in line with my hips, I'm starting to feel it bend a little bit at the bottom. That's absolutely fine. And then back up. If that's a little bit too far for you, don't worry. Bring your toes up, okay, and then see if you can reach them. If you still can't quite get that low, it's okay. It's not an easy movement to do. If you are sitting too far back in your chair, you're going to find it really hard to reach those toes. But remember, this is a movement for our back, and we want to try and keep our back as straight as possible as we go down, and then there's a very slight bend as we get lower and lower. Okay, let's go for one more. Down we go. Fantastic. Now we're getting started really with those muscles in the back. We're going to start to mobilise our spine, our vertebrae a little bit more. We're going to be doing some opposite sideways movements, okay? So my left hand is going to my right foot, right hand, left foot. So one way, touch the foot, and then the other. So it's a little bit faster, this one. Again, go at your own pace, what's comfortable for you. Down, touch your foot if you can, down, touch your foot if you can. And just try to complete about 10 of these. So as we're doing that twist, we're working those obliques, really good core exercise, and we're starting to mobilise the spine, which is what we're after here. Good, okay, few more. Okay, 2 more, and relax. So quite a tricky one that, you might feel a little bit out of breath. We're going to make sure the next one is a little bit easier. Okay, so bringing your hands, your arms outwards, hands behind your ears, and all I want you to do is just tilt to the side. The reason we've got our arms up here is because it encourages us to work our core that little bit more. If our hands are down by our side, we haven't got so much rigidity in our core around our back. Okay, so this is sort of lower back. So hands behind your ears, tilt one way, just hold it for a couple of seconds, come back to the centre, and then the other way, and back to the centre. Okay, you might feel a little bit silly having your hands behind your ears, but it's all worth it. Okay, keep going. So really good core exercise, working the side panels of your back here. Okay, one way, and then the other. Okay, let's go for 2 more. So we're always aiming for about 6 to 10 repetitions on these exercises. And there we go, fantastic. So again, if you feel like you can do some more, go for some more, it's absolutely fine. Right, the next one that I've got on my list, well, this one is deliberately arching the back, okay? So I'll show you from the side, it's a much better angle for you to see. What we want to do is to try and curve our back, bring your neck down. So we're deliberately curving the back, we're going against everything that we talk about with posture. So start off in that working position. Okay, bring your shoulders forwards and try to drive your hips back so you really curve, and you can feel your muscles tensed around the back and the front. Drop your neck and just try to hold that for about 10 seconds. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite movement where we straighten up. We're going to bring our chest outwards and try to bring your shoulder blades together. So almost like that sort of movement, you're bringing your elbows back. So try to hold that position for 10 seconds. Bring your chin up slightly. So standing or sitting really proud. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're going to repeat that once more on either side, okay? So the first one was curving as much as you can, but bring your shoulders forwards, drive your hips back, bend slightly, so you're shortening your back, and just lower your neck downwards, your chin downwards. Okay, and straighten. Okay, and back to where we were earlier, where we're bringing our chest out, arms back slightly, and chin up. Sitting proud. So hold that for about 5 more seconds, so you can feel those muscles are really tense at the top of your back. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Really well done there. Now the last thing that we're going to do, just one more exercise to complete, and like I said, you can repeat this again if you want to. We're going to be bringing ourselves forwards, so we're starting off nice and straight in our chairs. We're going to be bringing ourselves forwards and then back up, okay? So with your hands on your laps, just bring your torso forwards and then back up. So I'll show you from the side. We're going to do about 10 of these, so it's a good core exercise for both those back muscles, abdominal muscles here too. Hands on your lap, gently tilt yourself forward, so we're trying to keep the back straight on this one, and then back up. If you feel like you can go a little bit lower in the down phase, then you're very welcome to try. Good. Back up. Okay. Slowly down and back up. So we're almost sort of halfway there. We're going to go for about 5 more of these. Down and up. Remember, try to keep that back straight, level those shoulders. Slow breathing throughout. Good, 3 more. Okay, that's it, there's 1. So really slow these repetitions, they have to be. It's a real controlled movement that allows you to work your muscles a bit more. Let's go for 1 more. That's it, I'm going as low as I can go there really, whilst keeping my back straight, and then bring yourself back to that starting position. Okay, and just as we did at the start, hopefully those shoulders, our neck muscles are feeling a little bit more pliable to movement now, a little bit looser. So let's just see how they feel. So we're finishing as we started. So round and round, you can go in both directions. I'm hoping that there's no pain at all there. If there is, then you can just sit this one out, that's fine. Some people have really good mobility in their shoulders. If your arms are quite restricted in their movements, then the range of motion in your shoulders is of course not as good. So try to keep your shoulders nice and pliable by doing these sort of exercises every day. Okay, and with the neck, we're going to go up, slowly down, back to the centre, and then left and right. Good, okay, once more, up, down, back to the centre, left, and then right. Okay, good. So what you probably noticed about those 4 or 5 exercises that we just did is that they're all very slow and very controlled. 1, in order to recruit the right muscles. 2, because they're core exercises, we need to make sure that we get that technique exactly spot on to make it a little bit harder for ourselves, okay? So technique's really important, slow and controlled. We don't want to be doing any sort of jerking movements where we might feel like we can pull a muscle in those situations. So remember, when you're doing these exercises, for example, going down, that's probably the quickest one we do. You need to make sure you do that nice and slowly and controlled. Okay, and with all the other ones, of course, it's slight movements like this, okay, which can make a big difference. So thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.